All right, welcome back to the channel. So, Tyson Fury blows the Anthony Joshua fight apparently, apparently by running his mouth about doing business with a mobster and Dillian Whyte suing the WBC. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. So, Tyson Fury is the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, and he has a rematch scheduled with planned with Deontay Wilder as a result of him being able to fight for the championship. Let me repeat that. He has a fight with Deontay Wilder because if he had not agreed to a rematch with Deontay Wilder, he would have never been able to skip Dillian Whyte in line to get that shot. So Tyson Fury is duty bound to take that fight. And the WBC is duty bound to allow that fight to go on. But once that fight goes on, Tyson Fury is supposed to inherit the mandatory, or whoever wins that fight is supposed to defend that belt next against Dillian Whyte. Now, Deontay Wilder always said that he was going to fight Dillian Whyte and had no problem fighting with Dillian Whyte. And he said that he would fight Dillian Whyte as a mandatory, that he didn't even need to become a voluntary to take the fight. Deontay Wilder would take the fight. But what he wanted to do is he wanted to get big fights. He wanted to get the fight against Anthony Joshua. And he figured if he could get the fight with Anthony Joshua, he would have all 4 belts and then no problem whatsoever defending that belt against Dillian Whyte, right? Straight up. Now, Dillian Whyte's crying and complaining and making up stories about waiting 600 days to get the title, to get a shot at the title, which is just malarkey, just absolute nonsense. Deontay Wilder defended the fight. Deontay Wilder had a mandatory in Dominic Breazeale. He beat Dominic Breazeale, and his next mandatory wouldn't come up for another year. But Dillian Whyte was not actually the mandatory he was the mandatory shortly after, for a small amount of time or short amount of time after Deontay Wilder beat Dominic Breazeale. But he was suspended from his mandatory title defense, his mandatory shot, because he tested positive for steroids. Right. And he never had a B sample, by the way, that said that it wasn't in his system. He just came up with some explanation about why he had Diana ball in his system. And the British Boxing Board of Control bought it because they felt like, because they wanted to buy it. They wanted to buy that nonsense so they could make some money on the fight, get the fees off the fight that they were going to get. Their tickets were already sold. So more than likely it was just it was going to be an issue with a paperwork issue and returning people's money and all that stuff. So they said, whatever, let's just let Dillian Whyte fight. So Dillian Whyte fights. He beats Oscar Rivas. He's reinstated as he fought him. Then it took a long time for the B sample and all that stuff to get tested. And it never got tested from what I know. The BBBOC just was like, whatever, we're going to go with our original decision and let him continue to fight. Once they did that, Dillian Whyte was then reinstated as the mandatory for Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder loses to Tyson Fury, so now Dillian Whyte is Tyson Fury's manager. Dillian Whyte is Tyson Fury's mandatory. I was gonna say, I slipped and said that Dillian Whyte was Tyson Fury's manager, but as we know, that is not the case because Tyson Fury's manager is Daniel Kinahan, the internationally known heroin dealer, ecstasy dealer, arms dealer, money launderer. That's Tyson Fury's manager. And why do I say that? Why do I think it's important to bring that up right now? Because Tyson Fury was probably going to get off slick. I promise you that the WBC was going to allow Tyson Fury to do whatever it is that Tyson Fury wanted to do, right? And because they don't have any problem whatsoever with the fight being made between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, because that is more sanctioning fees for them than they would get against Tyson Fury fighting Dillian Whyte. So why now are they saying, no, we're going to enforce this mandatory, and we're not going to let the Tyson Fury fight Anthony Joshua or Kubrat Pulev, because Kubrat Pulev's a mandatory, which means there's no rematch clause, right? So or Pulev next, we're going to make him fight Dillian Whyte. Why would that be? Because once Tyson Fury opened his mouth and thanked Daniel Kinahan for making the Anthony Joshua fight and announced that they had a 2-fight deal for the year 2021 agreed to in principle, the UK and Ireland went bananas. They were like, "Oh no, you cannot." So you had the Taoiseach of Ireland call the United Arab Emirates and say, "Hold on, we hear the Tyson Fury Anthony Joshua fights being organized, and this certain individual is involved in it. Do not do that. Do not do that." So the United Arab Emirates and the KHK, who is I think it's a sports management company that is owned by the Bahraini royal family, pulled the plug. Boop. Fired Daniel Kinahan, if you can do that to a mob boss, but separated themselves from Daniel Kinahan. The Sky Sports, who would have aired that fight, they pull out of the fight and say, no, they separate themselves like, oh no, we don't have any connection with anything that's been organized by Daniel Kinahan. No, we do not have any connection to organized crime. The BT, right? BT, who's the company, the channel that aired Tyson Fury's fights, they said they don't have anything to do with it, so they pulled back. So now, because Tyson Fury opened his mouth about something everybody knew, by the way, at least I knew it, so I have a heart. Now, maybe the Taoiseach didn't know it because he had other things to do, and maybe he's not paying attention to boxing like I pay attention to boxing, but I knew it for weeks. They were celebrating this Daniel Kinahan thing. Bob Arum was celebrating and saying, what a great guy this guy is for getting this deal done, and we're going to make a bunch of money over in the Middle East, right? And then they invited a bunch of boxing dignitaries to travel to Bahrain and have a meeting with KHK and Daniel Kinahan. You had Lennox Lewis was going to go, Roy Jones Jr. was going to go. I say Lennox Lewis, Roy Jones Jr., Shelly Finkel. I'm sure Eddie Hearn is going to be there. Barry Hearn was going to be there, right? Bob Arum was going to be there. Todd DeBuff was going to be there. All of these guys are going to come and celebrate this great partnership between UK boxing and Bahrain, right? And they're like, nah, they shut that off. So what's the WBC going to do now? Well, obviously the WBC's got to back away from it too and say, no, we're not going to have anything to do with that. What we're going to do is we're going to enforce this mandatory, because right now that particular fight and all the money for that particular fight, at least getting it the way that they were originally planned to getting it, is now gone because of Tyson Fury opening his mouth. You gotta love it, dude. The dude is everything, tries to be everything to everybody, saying whatever pops off in his mouth, but he more than likely cost a lot of people a lot of money. And the WBC said, nope, we're not going to, on top of losing this money for this big fight that you guys are going to set up, we're not also going to get sued by Dillian Whyte and have to spend money defending ourselves in court. So we're just going to step out here right now and make the statement that Dillian Whyte will be fighting for the WBC championship after the next Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury fight, and that is it. That's what's going to happen. Now, my personal opinion is that will stay true as long as the money that Daniel Kinahan was trying to get his hands on, or probably was, has his hands on already, but the money that was going to get where you were going to get the $200 million, $140 million for each fighter for Anthony, $140 million for Anthony Joshua, $140 million for Tyson Fury. Dog, more than likely that is gone, and WBC is not going to change their mind until that money shows back up. But guess what? That money can't show back up in the UK. Can't show back up in the UK Because I don't even know if dude can step in, if the dude even steps into the UK. I think they said he's living in Dubai. In Dubai, man, he must be living nice in Dubai. But anyway, man, I just find it funny that Dillian Whyte is crying about something, honestly, that is his own fault. Dillian Whyte could have been done. Dillian Whyte could have fought Deontay Wilder instead of Luis Ortiz. He could have fought Deontay Wilder instead of Dominic Brazil, but he chose not to. He chose to take this other pass. He even got ranked, shout out to Blood Boxing, even got ranked by the WBC and had never fought anybody in the top of the WBC when he got to number one. So it's just, man, dude, Dillian Whyte's full of crap. Tyson Fury's full of crap. And I'm sitting back and laughing about the whole entire thing. You let me know what you think in the comment sections, though. And with that, I'm out. Peace.